We begin today's Sunrise Smart Start with some breaking news overnight. Rochester police currently investigating a double shooting in the city's northwest side. Just before 10 last night, a large police presence shut down a portion of Lyle and North Plymouth Avenues. In fact, they're still there, as officers tell us that two men ages 49 and 43 were found shot multiple times, rushed to the hospital and expected to recover, but there are no suspects in custody or anyone to name. This area is still very heavily populated, an active investigation, so we are told please avoid the area. Again, Lyle and Plymouth, find an alternate route. And if you know anything, please call 911. In other headlines and continuing coverage, New York State's prison system remains at the center of a major divide between those who are charged with guarding the incarcerated and others who say that abuse against prisoners is out of control. This as some of those corrections officers refuse to work for the 10th day in a row. Among their demands, the repeal of a law known as the HALT Act. It went into effect in 2022, requiring all prisoners to be let out of their cells for every day, at least for 7 hours. It also limits the amount of solitary confinement time that any incarcerated person can receive. Now, those behind bars call this a saving grace, but the correction officers say that it limits their ability to discipline and makes their jobs harder. News 8 also spoke with the wife of a correction officer who says that since this law took effect, it has severely affected her family.
It's not holding the inmates accountable because it's taking away the officers' rights. It's changed the way our family interacts because we're concerned about how, if he's coming home or not.
Meanwhile, attorneys for the state, the Department of Corrections, and the union representing corrections officers, they all came together for a hearing about the ongoing strike. All sides looking for progress in the ongoing mediations. Attorney Dennis Vacco, who represents the union but not the striking workers, says a resolution will happen with the greatest chance of success at the bargaining table and not in the courtroom. An assistant state attorney general has said that he would follow any order from the governor to issue violations against the union or the individual COs. Hochul says the state has already given in to some of the demands those correction officers have made, including changes to the HALT Act, but that and any other change would be temporary. Negotiations via phone and in person are expected to continue throughout and into the week. All right, taking an updated look at your sunrise traffic report here at 6:52. Greater Rock Sky Eye camera shows it's starting to pick up there on 490. No accidents across any of our main thoroughfares. Several accidents on side streets. Dewey Avenue and Velix Street up there near Greece. Culver Road and Norton. An accident with possible injuries at North Street and Clifford Ave. And finally, one with injuries at Ford Street and Boys Club Place. Keep those in mind, as well as that police presence at Lyle and Plymouth. Avoid these areas if you can. Back to the headlines. The American Red Cross asks folks to roll up those sleeves as the need for blood donations continues. Very serious here. Today, the organization hosts a blood drive at MCC's Brighton campus, meant to help alleviate some of those shortages caused by the recent winter weather. If you can safely donate, you're asked to make an appointment on the Red Cross Blood Donor app, and the drive today will be from noon to 5 at the Warsaw Conference Center. In other news, the Ovid Strong Pop-Up Thrift Store 2.0 will open today, and that is going to be at the Finger Lakes Premium Outlets for a limited 5-day sale. This is all in response to the Ovid fire that took place in January. Fire victims took whatever they needed from the previous donations, and now it's your chance to shop and fill up a provided bag with clothing for just $5. All proceeds going towards the Ovid community, and the sale will run from March 2nd from 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. at Suite 79 between the Skechers and the Kate Spade. All right, well, the weather has been maybe a bit hot and cold, shall we say. Temperatures rising, and as they fall again, the ice created by refreezing can cause an extra headache for some of you homeowners, specifically when it comes to clearing a path for postal workers or really anyone who may pass by your home and risk a slip hazard. Ron Spitzer speaking with a personal injury attorney to find out just how responsible you homeowners may need to be to keep those properties safe. Ron, looks like you're pretty frozen over where you are.
Oh, pretty frozen over and lots of ice on the ground, not surprising. And there are more chilly days set ahead, so this wild weather is still very much top of mind. As I said, I've been slipping and sliding, so I assume other people have as well. But if you fall and get seriously injured and that happens to be by somebody's property, they could be responsible for compensating you financially. Now, I spoke with John Richmond, a personal injury lawyer with Richmond Vona. He says a homeowner is required to do everything they can to keep their property safe. That includes the sidewalk in front of your property. Richmond tells me if you don't take all the proper measures to keep your property as safe as possible, like creating a path and salting, you could be responsible to compensate them through your insurance and sometimes personal assets. Richmond says a likely defense for this is called the storm in progress defense, stating it would be unreasonable to require homeowners to clear snow and ice while weather is still actively making conditions unsafe. Now, of course, you have that reasonable time, and if this is something you are concerned about, somebody slipping on ice in front of your property or by that sidewalk, what you essentially have to do is document everything. You can take those photos, you can take those videos. That way you have it recorded, of course, if that is a concern to you. For now, reporting Ron Spitzer, News 8.
Ron there hitting us with the good advice, James. And I did take the shovel out last night, kind of taking advantage of some of the melting to get rid of as much of the ice as I can before it kind of gets cold again later in the week.
Give people at least a path to walk up right to the property. Clear skies, nice to see that this morning. Temperatures are generally above freezing for you. We are in the lower 30s, upper 30s, about 40 this afternoon with a little bit of a mix, and that PM mix late in the day. Carrying over into tomorrow, kind of slushy Thursday before cooler air by Friday.
All right. Thank you so much, James. Getting us ready for the rest of our week. Thank you for watching News 8 at Sunrise. Have a wonderful day.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, X, and on our app for news and weather.